Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering you're no longer human-sized. Not 7 feet tall, not 8, but 5 meters tall. Nearly half the height of a telephone pole. Sounds like a superpower, right? But what if becoming the tallest person on Earth was actually a death sentence? At first, it seems incredible. You'd tower over buildings, see crowds from blocks away, and instantly become the most famous person alive. Every camera would follow you. Every headline would mention your name. But there's a hidden problem nobody talks about. Because the human body was never designed for that size. The tallest person ever recorded, Robert Wadlow, reached an astonishing 2.72 meters. Even at that height, everyday life became a constant struggle. And here's the strange part. 5 meters isn't just a little taller. It's nearly double the height of the tallest human who ever lived. So what would happen if your body kept growing? The most likely cause would be extreme gigantism, a rare condition linked to excessive growth hormone production. In some cases, a tiny tumor in the pituitary gland can trigger unstoppable growth. But that's only the beginning of the nightmare. As your height increased, your fame would explode. People would stare. News crews would chase you. Scientists would study you. But while the world celebrated your incredible size, something dangerous would already be happening inside your body. Your organs would be fighting a battle they were never meant to win. And that's when things start getting weird. At first, being 5 meters tall would come with a few surprising advantages. You could eat enormous amounts of food without gaining much fat. Why? Because your body would burn energy at an unbelievable rate just to keep itself alive. Your metabolism would become a furnace. Entire meals that would feed a family might barely fuel a single day. But that's not even the craziest part. Research suggests taller people often have lower risks of heart disease and diabetes. Sounds promising until the rest of the equation appears. Because every kilogram of extra mass creates a new problem. Your bones would be under crushing pressure every second of every day. Walking across a grassy field could become dangerous. Soft ground might collapse beneath your weight. Stairs could crack. Furniture would be useless. Cars would be impossible. Even entering a building would become a challenge. But here's the strange part. The biggest threat wouldn't be your bones. It would be your nervous system. The farther signals must travel through your body, the longer they take to reach your brain. At 5 meters tall, simple reactions could slow noticeably. Conversations might feel delayed. Catching a falling object could become difficult. Processing the world around you would feel strangely out of sync. And this is where everything changes. The very size that made you extraordinary would begin turning against you. Blood would struggle to travel efficiently through your giant body. Risks of blood clots would rise. Cancer risks would increase. Every organ would be forced to work beyond its natural limits. And the worst part? The problems would only keep growing. Most people imagine giant humans as powerful, stronger, better, almost unstoppable. But nature tells a completely different story. The larger an animal becomes, the harder it is to support its own weight. That's why insects can lift many times their body mass, while giant creatures face constant structural challenges. And if humans somehow evolved to reach 5 meters tall naturally, our entire species might need to change. What happens next changes everything. Instead of walking upright, future giant humans might be forced onto all fours. It's one of the few ways to distribute that much weight without destroying joints and bones. The image is unsettling. Humanity would still be intelligent, still recognizable, but physically transformed into something completely different. And suddenly, being giant doesn't look like an upgrade anymore. It looks like a compromise. The world around you would become a trap. Doorways too small. Roads too weak. Transportation impossible. Every ordinary task would require custom engineering. Even sleeping comfortably would become a challenge. The dream of becoming the biggest human alive slowly turns into a life of limitations. And that's the ultimate twist. The thing most people envy about height eventually becomes the very thing that steals freedom away. So if you could choose between living as an ordinary person or becoming a 5-meter giant, what would you pick? Because after everything we've discovered, one mystery still remains. If our bodies struggle this much at 5 meters tall, what is the absolute maximum size a human could ever reach before nature says no?